And I got to tell you, this is everything about finally had a massive breakthrough. And the massive breakthrough was my life anthem. It's 2 words. And I'm just dying to share this with you. So as I say these, I want you to think about what a life anthem could be for you. So as the life anthem, what that means is, as I approach my day, as I approach the moments of my day, as I approach the bigger picture of my day, it's 2 words that I use to rate how well I'm living a fully connected, charged, as we're talking high performance, 5P life. Are you ready? 2 words. Joyful, curiosity. And let me unpack why that's incredibly important. Joyful curiosity. So let me pause for a minute. If you do not have your notes out, please get your notes out. Think this through for you. What are words, 2 words, a life theme that can be the anthem for how you want to show up and how you want to live life for yourself, for others, for the world, and the legacy you want to leave too. So I talked about this in our previous training, how Gramps and his peanuts, he always sat down, not every night, but most nights he'd sit down, he'd have a fire in the fireplace, he'd have his shelled peanuts over here, and he'd have the place to put the shells, and he'd be popping those shells while he's reading and learning with joyous curiosity, joyful curiosity about something he was going to work on tomorrow. So for example, we were building bookshelves for the Houghton Lake Senior Center, and he wanted to make sure he engineered them right. He was a draftsman and an engineer. So he's reading about the best ways to support the system and build them out of wood and make sure they didn't bow and all this stuff. And he was just in his glory, in his learning moment. But I noticed as I was a little kid watching him, he was bringing loads of joyful curiosity. He's just like in it, full presence, full engagement, full joy. So as I thought about this is the context, the languaging that I use for these girls and that I've grown into over the last 6-7 years. And you can ask them, I get sometimes they probably classify me as a little annoying. Too joyful, too curious, Dad. Jeez, leave me alone. But I'd rather be that than the other side of it, right? So what does it actually look like tactically? Joyful curiosity is the energy. Now, in order to get and maintain that energy, what's the very first thing you're going to want to make sure you dial up and dial in for you? Any ideas? I'll give you a hint. It starts with sleep. I don't know about you, but boy, when I was the night owl, I'm grabbing some mushroom coffee here. When I was the night owl back in, well, from the 70s through 2011, I classified myself as a night owl. Wasn't paying a lot of attention to sleep. Wasn't the sleep guy. I mean, I got some, but it wasn't consistent. And I didn't realize how much that hindered, even though back then these weren't my themes, although I felt like I was living into this for the most part. That's just kind of the way I've approached life. Sleep was everything, right? So I can tell if I rate joyful curiosity, and I rate those words separately for me throughout a day, it directly correlates with how much sleep I got last night. So I'd love for you to think about for a minute, if you're going to approach life with joyful curiosity, what's helpful for you? List 3 things. What's hindering you from full joy and full curiosity? Take a moment with that. Anything coming up for you? So a big part of that in my history was the people I was around. I wanted to be around more joyful people, more ambitious, more goal-oriented people. Thank you, Brennan, and the community for bringing that. A lot of us are here because of that. So thank you so much for being inspiration for me, especially our Master Few members, rocking that out. And I wanted to have a curiosity about life, but I had to get clear on what I'm curious about. So I love relationships. So I love learning about psychology and sociology. I love computer games, and I love to learn new things through them. I like to share what I'm learning. So you'll notice as part of the curiosity piece, there's a learning component, there's a creating component, and there's a sharing component. Like when you learn something new, you feel like, oh my gosh, I gotta share this with others. Now that's what I feel. You may not feel that. But I'm like, who am I gonna share it with that has similar interests? Luckily, I've got a lot of people who have interests in these different segments of things that I'm curious about. Does that all make sense? So joyful curiosity. As we go back into session 2 of our high performance work, the clarity chart, There's self words and interactive words that fuel joyful curiosity. So my self words and my interactive words are right over off camera on the back of the studio door. Present, joyous, bold. You see the word is in there. My interactive words over there, compassionate, enthusiastic, loving. So take a moment right now and think about this. And just use me as an example, and beat me up if you need to. How joyfully curious do you feel I am in life with what you've seen and how you know me? How present, we go over here, joyous, bold, do you feel I'm being congruent with that for myself? When I'm interacting with you, going over to our chart, compassionate, enthusiastic, loving. Are you sensing I'm congruent in these? I hope you are, and if you're not, please let me know, because just wake me up if I'm off base. Please, because I want to be that for you. I want to be that for us. I want to be that for me. I want to be that for my beautiful girls. Rocking it out, being the best role model I can be. So with joyful curiosity, how do we build that as a sustaining life anthem? Like, what are the behaviors, the mindset, the actions we're taking to sustain that over the long term? The very first thing, and I want to kind of take you down this rabbit hole for a minute, is this beautiful ring called the Aura Ring.